You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV.
Watch us on YouTube.
Listen on your favourite podcast platform.
Or ask your smart speaker
To play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Right, Chris.
Chris, where are you? No, it's me, you wonderful people. I am the host of this show, the Predictions League. We're back for the second week. We've got a lot of catching up to do. Who's where in our league? Well, we'll find that out later today. If you did hear that intro, it's a lovely intro, isn't it? Even if you just call me Chris. This is where you can find us on our social medias on LTID TV, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Do make sure on the TikTok one especially, you are going to the LTID TV one and not Chris's personal one, because you won't get accepted. It's nothing personal, but it's his personal one. So you won't get any information from that one. So do make sure you are searching the LTID TV one there. And obviously, as you can see across that bottom side of it, there is all the Spotify's and whatnots that you can listen to us to. But here we are. We are unfortunately Steveless again, but we are here for the prediction show. Just because Steve's not here doesn't mean that this wonderful show is not sponsored by Foxy 7 clothing range, which is the generous prize that Steve has for us to the winner of it. I hope you are all doing fantastically as I try and distract you all whilst I look for the advertisement video for it, which I can't find because I'm so organised. You could say that I'm feeling a bit like for not being organised, but I'm getting there, people. I hope everybody is well for it. I can't find it, so we're not going to use it. But there is a video somewhere. It's Foxy 7 clothing for the winner of the Predictions League. But how is everybody doing? Well, there was some good, some bad, some kind of ugly results. And there was some good, bad and ugly predictions from you all. Unfortunately about Steve today, you're going to have to put up with my ugly mush. So I hope the Leicester shirt's, taking the focus away from this and you can focus on it. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. How did people get on? Well, as prepared as ever, I have a notebook to tell you how everybody in the leaderboard got on. And we'll recap the results. This is my best football focused voice. Sheffield Wednesday lost 2-1 to Southampton. Myself, Chris, Craig and Steve Lynex all predicted that Southampton win, but we didn't get the result right. However, Anthony, Doug, John, Mike, Steve Smart and Told You Bro all got a whopping 3 points from that fixture. So, off to a flying start. Blackburn beat West Bromwich Albion 2-1. Chris and Steve Smart got that right, but they only got 1 point for it. And 3 points for that result went to Jeff, John, Nippon and Spencer. Now then, Anthony, if you're watching, his second favourite team, or maybe third behind Southampton, I don't know. But they had a nitty-gritty 1-1 draw with Preston. And Chris, Nippon, Shane Downs and Steve Lynex managed to get themselves 1 point. But Steve Smart and Craig got it spot on. Both of them two were the only two to go for 1-1 in that game. Middlesbrough Millwall. Well, was it a shock that Middlesbrough lost to Millwall in opening game of the season? It certainly was for everybody because we had no points. Nobody, not even a draw was predicted by anybody. A win for Millwall, wasn't predicted by anybody. And no points were given there. So, Norwich played Hull. That was 2-1 to Norwich. Myself, Doug, Jeff, Shane Downs, and Steve Smart all sensed that Norwich would win. But Chris, sharp as attack again, and Mike and Nate, they got it spot on. They were the only three to predict correctly that it would be 2-1 to Norwich. The new boys versus the Terriers, who Leicester will be looking to terrorise on the weekend. I have to stop with these jokes. I've been working for Chris too long. Anyway, Plymouth, the new boys, they got the scalp. They got the big shock of the weekend, if you will. They beat Plymouth by 3 goals. Plymouth beat Huddersfield by 3 goals to 1. And myself, Chris, Doug, Jeff, John, Mike, and Nippen all correctly backed Plymouth to win. But and Spencer and Told You Bro did the same. But nobody predicted the outcome of the score. So points are going well so far. Then we get on to another new team. Stoke took on Rotherham, and this was pretty much a full house. Craig, Doug, Jeff, John, Mike, Nate, Nippen, Shane Downs, Shane O'Donnell, Spencer, Steve Smart, and Steve Lynex, Told You Bro, all predicted that Stoke would win. But nobody predicted 4-1. So we can get the result right, just not the score, it seems, in this league. Swansea then were held by Birmingham to a 1-1 draw. Myself, Anthony, Spencer, and Steve Smart also got the draw right. But Doug, Nate, Nippen, and Told You Bro correctly predicted it would be 1-1. Watford, they hammered QPR. It may be an unsurprising one, although if things are to be believed with QPR, maybe it wasn't that surprising. It was a massive 4-0 victory for Watford. Anthony, myself, Doug, John, Mike, Shane Downs, and Shane O'Donnell, Spencer, Craig, and Told You Bro all said that Watford would win, but realistically, nobody managed to predict that Watford would win by such a comfortable margin. We've got 2 games to go, and I'm going to say 3 games to go. Sunderland versus Ipswich, 0 points. And I didn't study French, and I know that means no points. And I'm probably going to get embarrassed and told no, it doesn't. But nobody predicted Ipswich, the new boys, to beat Sunderland. Cardiff, Leeds finished 2-2. Nobody predicted 2-2, but I predicted a draw. You know, a little smug moment for myself there. The only one to get any points from that one. I'm not saying I was big and clever against it, but
boom!
Might drop moment for myself because I didn't maybe not do that well this week at all. I haven't got off to the best of starts defending my championship. But last but by no means certainly least, the big massive M69 derby, because obviously it's not a real derby unless there is a motorway named after it. The M69 derby, as you should all know if you are Leicester fans in the chat, finished Leicester City 2, their Cov Scum 1, and there was a cluster of points going. Myself, Jeff, Nippen, Spencer, Steve Smart, and Told You Bro all correctly predicted Leicester to win, but it was Chris, Doug, John, Mike, and Shane O'Donnell who got maximum points, correctly guessing that it would be in fact 2-1 to Leicester. So there is last week's roundup. So I hear you cry, and some have been asking me in the chat, in the group chat, what does that mean, Brad? What does that mean for the standings? Where is everybody in the league position? Well, once I can find myself here again and make sure I show you the right one, this is exactly what it means. It means that Anthony, who got 1 correct result and 2 correct scores, gets a total of 5 points. Obviously 3 points for the correct result and a point for each correct score. I didn't get any correct results, but I made up for it with 5 correct scores and 5 points. Chris got 2 results spot on, and he got 4 correct scores, giving him a total of 10. Craig, the wise owl, only got 1 correct result, and he got 3 correct scores, getting him 6 points. And Doug had one of the better weeks with 3 correct results and 4 correct results, giving him a whopping 13 points to start the week off. Great week for you, Doug. Jeff got 1 correct result and 4 correct scores, giving him a whopping total of 7 points. John had a even keel, 3 correct results and 3 correct scores, giving him a close shave in chasing Doug down and 12 points. Mike also got 3 correct results and 4 correct scores. He is joint with Doug on 13 points. Nate got 2 correct results but only 1 correct score, but that gives him a nice reasonable 7 points. Nippon, he got 2 correct results and 4 correct scores, giving him a perfect 10 out of 10, if you will. Shane joined me in the 0 club for correct results, but he did get 4 correct scores, so he picked up 4 points. Shane O'Donnell, he got 1 correct result and 2 correct scores, giving him 5, joining me on 5. Spencer got 1 correct result and 5 correct scores, giving him a respectable start of 8. Steve Lynex, who was substituted in by Chris, well, gave Steve Lynex a Steve Lynex-like outcome with just 3 correct scores and no correct results. Give him 3. And Steve, seemingly the better Steve here, got 2 correct results and a whopping 6 correct scores, giving him 12 points. So what does that mean for the early doors of the opening league table? Well, as you can see here, Doug sits top of the table on alphabetical order, because as you can see here, I'm using correct results as the goal difference. 3, 3 and 3 for John in second place, well, technically third alphabetically. Steve is fourth with 2 correct results, which is why he is fourth. Chris sitting there on 10 points, tops it alphabetically over Nippon and Told You Bro. Spencer got 8 points, which is keeping him ahead of Nate, who is joint with 7 points with Jeff. Craig is sitting in the middle between Jeff and Anthony on 6 points, and Anthony, Shane and myself have 5, while Shane is 15th with 4, and you can't see him there, but he is important to us all. Steve has got 3 points. That was a lot to get through, and that's just the roundup. So I hope you're ready to hear how everybody else did. I'm just going to see what's going on with people in the comments. And here he is, Steve Smart. Going to be some good competition in this season in the league. Yes, indeed it is. Interesting results, interesting outcomes, but at the end of the day, it's points that will make prizes. So for those that are watching, maybe on catch up, if you're catching up with this later on, you now know how the outcome's going to go and how important it is to try and nail on them correct results. So, without further ado, we'll get into game week 2 as soon as I remember with my life to go to here and push this lover button so you all know what it is you're watching, sat there waiting for me to put that back up after them league tables. We are, unfortunately, Steveless again. He's back off holiday tomorrow, Sunday, sorry. So he will be back with us next week. We are going to go through everybody's predictions one by one, starting with the first game. And even if you're not involved in a league, please do get your comments in down below. You can join in for fun. You might not be in for the prizes, but you can certainly make sure you're getting involved with the result predictions. So, game week number 2, fixture number 1. Coventry take on Middlesbrough. Now, obviously, both had very similar results. They both lost by the odd goal. Middlesbrough, more of an upset, playing Millwall. And Coventry, well, they maybe feel a bit unjust that they didn't get a point on, at least a point out of the massive M69 derby. But what predictions has everybody made for the game? Well, Anthony has gone 2-1 to Middlesbrough. I have gone 2-0 to Coventry. Chris has gone 2-1 to Middlesbrough. Craig has gone 2-1 to Borough. Jeff went 2-1 to Coventry. John went 2-1 to Coventry. Mike went 2-1 to Middlesbrough. Nate went for a Desmond. He's gone 2-2. Nippon has not given me his results, so I need to take his out yet. And if you don't get me in touch with your results, you won't get any points this week. The same goes for Mr. Steve. Mr. Steve Lynex, unavailable. Shane Downs has gone for a 2-0 win to to Coventry, sorry. Shane O'Donnell has gone 2-1 to Coventry. Spencer has gone 2-0 to Coventry. Steve is on the tuk-tuk. He's on the naughty step with Nippon. Didn't get any predictions in on time. So that means that Steve Spencer, he went 3-0 Coventry. That's the biggest win we've seen so far, awarded to either side. Told You Bro went 2-1 to Coventry, and Doug went 2-0 Coventry as well. So it seems a bit mixed, that one. Nobody really sitting on the fence too much in that way. But it seems to be not much separating them. It is early doors though, isn't it? We're only one game into the actual season, 2 if you got through a cup match. Coventry. Oh, sorry, God, I got that stuck in my throat. It's very hard to judge, but there's your predictions for game week 1. Hello to Leon in the chat. Hope you're well, buddy, and I hope you're all doing a magical thing, those of you who are watching, and hitting the like button, getting that thumbs up, and sharing this channel around. And I hope if you are new, I'm not sure if you are Leon, you might have been on before. I'm a new host, so I don't know, but I hope you're well, mate. He has gone 3-1 to Middlesbrough. Do make sure if you are new that you're hitting that subscribe button. It's all appreciated. So bear with me. I've got my water to make sure my head doesn't explode trying to get through this for all of you people. We will move on to game number 2, and I am going to be a very smart cookie. Yeah, I know, my brain, it does work. I'm going to make sure that my thumb sits where I need it to be. Birmingham take on Leeds United. Now, Leeds United had a horror start to their first game against Cardiff, but they managed to pull it back respectively and ended up giving a certain somebody the only point from the predictions league on that fixture. I won't say who. Can't quite put my finger on who it was that got the point. But anywho, we move on. They take on a Birmingham side who started off with a draw against Swansea. But how did the competitors in the predictions league predict it to go? Well, Anthony thinks it'll be a 5-goal thriller. He's given Leeds a 3-2 win. I decided that I couldn't decide who I hated more, Leeds or Birmingham, so I gave my first Desmond of the game and went 2-2. Chris decided that Leeds were going to steamroll Birmingham, and he's gone 2-0 to Leeds. Craig, he went against the grain, and he's gone 2-1 to Birmingham. Jeff has gone 1-0 Leeds. He thinks it'll be a tight affair, but it's given Leeds the edge. John has put himself on the fence, and he has gone for a 1-1 draw between them. As has Mike. You got company on that fence there then. You've got company on the fence, you draw specialist this time. Nate thinks Leeds will edge it out in an away win. He's gone 2-1 to Leeds. Shane Downs has also joined you on the fence and joined me with a Desmond. He has gone 2-2. Shane O'Donnell has said that Leeds will edge out away win and has gone 1-0 to Leeds. Spencer has sat on the fence. A lot of fence sitters out there this week for this one, because he's gone Birmingham 1, Leeds 1. Wow. Desmond strikes again. Desmond's very popular for this fixture. Steve Smart has gone Birmingham 2, Leeds 2. Told You Bro has gone for a solid away win 2-0 to Leeds. Doug has then rounded things off with a 1-0 win to Leeds. So between a draw and a Leeds win for the majority of people, I think the odd 1 or 2 went for a Birmingham win. But what do you guys think? Get your predictions in the chat. If you're not in the league, join in the fun. There's no pressure on your scores being right. Hello to James. He says, watching Man City looks like Leicester. Well, if it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, it's probably a duck. And that might be why. Do say you copy someone's homework enough, eventually you'll get the right answers. We are dubbed the Man City of the Championship. Not sure if it's for our expenditure or the fact that we've got Man City's former assistant there, but I'll take it either way. It's sort of a compliment in the Championship. So there's everybody's predictions for the Birmingham Leeds United game. Now then, Cardiff versus QPR. QPR, who suffered a humbling defeat in the first week's fixtures, losing to Watford. And Cardiff, they got off to I tried to remember all these results. It's not easy. Do have patience with me. Cardiff were pegged back by Leeds in a 2-2 draw. Did these results make anybody more the wiser to their predictions? Well, Anthony says that it'll be a 1-1 draw. Despite QPR's humbling, he thinks they will draw 1-1. I saw the result and thought there was only one winner. It isn't QPR. I've gone Cardiff 2, QPR 0. And Chris has joined me. Exactamundo. He thinks Cardiff will win the game 2-0. Craig has gone for a slightly tighter affair, but he still backs Cardiff to win by 2-1. Jeff has gone and joined me and Chris by saying 2-0 to Cardiff. A lot of people seem to not fancy QPR this season, do they? John has gone for a slightly closer affair, 2-1 to Cardiff. I think we know who the favourites are for this game between everybody. Although Mike throws a spanner into the works. It's not like a Newport or Manchester United fan to do that, is it? He's got 1-0 QPR. Interesting, Mike. Will you be the only one with a point? That would be interesting because I think you might be the only one that's backed QPR. Nate has gone for a 1-1 draw, so he loves that fence, loves to sit on it. Shane Downs thinks it's a demolition job. He thinks they'll score one less than Watford. He's gone Cardiff 3, QPR 0. Shane O'Donnell, and I do apologise if I'm pronouncing anyone's last name wrong here. He has gone 2-0 Cardiff. Seems to be the popular choice throughout this fixture. Spencer has gone also 2-0 to Cardiff. And Steve Smart has gone 2-1 to Cardiff. There's only Mike. He's the only one standing at QPR at the moment. Told you, bro. No, 2-0 Cardiff. He thinks that as well. And Doug, who's in the chat, I've seen your comment. I got yours in time, mate. I appreciate people at working and you've got a busy life going on. As long as I get them within reasonable time before the show, you get included. Don't worry, Doug. I have been reading yours out. And you went, sir. You also joined the most popular result of the Cardiff QPR fixture, Doug. You went 2-0 to Cardiff as well. So, very popular score. Only Mike went against the grain and Nate went for a draw. Leon, he's also on the fence. He's gone 1-1 to Cardiff. Doug, just confirming that you did get yours in time, mate. Yeah, you definitely left yours in the group chat. The only reason you're last on the list, mate, is because as I was writing them all up, I was thinking, I've missed somebody out alphabetically here, and it was you, mate. So I do apologise, but yes, you are last on my list, but by no means least, mate. You're the channel favourite, aren't you? Done a lot of work with you, so of course I'd save the best till last, mate. Don't tell the rest that, though. So, moving on with that, we've had some very one-sided that, wasn't it? Cardiff 2-1, 2-0, pretty much the outgoing results, apart from one draw, I believe, and Leon has one in the chat, but in the league terms, one draw, and only Mike, the only one that potentially will pick up any point. He'll be the only one to pick up a point if QPR win that game. Are we as one-sided about our next fixture? Because I think I'm skipping a certain one out because we might be a channel that specialises in a certain team. That's all I'm saying. So, Hull City versus Sheffield Wednesday. A tough fixture. Sheffield Wednesday, very unfortunate. And late stoppage time goal stopped them taking a point off Southampton in the opening game of this week. And Hull City just got edged out by the yo-yoing club, Norwich City. Not the Baggers, because Norwich have taken that crown recently. But how did everybody predict them to do this week? Anthony sat sternly on a fence. He's gone for a 1-1 draw. And I said, Anthony, that fence looks really nice. So I joined him and I also went 1-1. Chris, again, couldn't decide. So he went for the first ball draw. He's gone Hull 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Craig has finally been decisive and gave someone a win. He reckons Hull will win the game 1-0. Jeff is a bit more confident than a Hull win. He's gone 2-0 to Hull. John thinks it'll be a close affair, but again, seems to be the popular choice here. Hull 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Mike, has he gone for another QPR surprise? He has not. He too has backed Hull City to win 2-0. Nate has sat on the fence with myself and Anthony. with a 1-1 draw. Shane Downs has gone for another 1-1 draw. This one's turned out to be the popular one, this fixture, isn't it? And Shane O'Donnell has gone for a Desmond. He thinks it'll be 2-2. Spencer has gone for another Desmond. Are you guys copying each other's homework? Is that what it is? Do I have to put you all in the naughty corner? Lots of same results here. Steve Spencer, he has gone for a comfortable 2-0 win to Huddersfield. Told You Bro has gone for a Huddersfield? Hull? I know what I meant. Told You Bro is joining me and Anthony and the rest of the gang on the fence with a 1-1 draw. And Doug, just to confirm your results, predictions were not too far apart. You've gone for a whopping 3-1 win. You've got the biggest result on that fixture list, Doug. You went 3-1 to Hull City. So again, nobody to my recollection there backed Sheffield Wednesday to win, despite their performance against Southampton. I thought that might have been a bit more widespread, but the draw or a win for Hull was the very popular choice in that one. And even Leon, who I can't begrudge, going for a 2-2 draw, very popular outcome, saying it would be a draw. So, folks, is the championship that predictable, or are we all just still hedging our bets because it's only this week 2? Who knows? Seems to be like some of you are sharing notes on your homework. You won't win the merchandise from Foxy 7 Clothing if it's a draw and you all get the same points. Come on, be different, be ambitious. Someone go 6-2. I mean, you don't have to, because that might not ever happen and you'd only get 1 point, but live a little. It's early days, isn't it? Moving on, as we're getting up to the halfway point, Ipswich Town caused the biggest upset, or should I say joint biggest upset if you go by the predictions outcomes, when they beat Sunderland by 2 goals to 1 away from home. They got the season off to a great start. And Stoke City naturally romped to victory against Rotherham United. That game was definitely not a case of to me to you. Yeah, I'm sorry. Blame Chris, blame Doug, who is on this channel sometimes. Their dad jokes are rubbing off on me. But did the panel think that Stoke would go goal crazy again? Or are Ipswich going to keep their season start off to a flyer and get off to a win at home? Well, Anthony thinks Stoke are going to go goal crazy. He went 3-1 to Stoke. I, on the other hand, couldn't pick between them. And I have stayed on my fence and I've gone 1-1. Chris, he went for a Desmond. He's gone 2-2. Ipswich, where are you, Craig? You went 2-1 to Ipswich, so he thinks Ipswich are going to start with 6 points. Could happen. It's a home game. Jeff, he couldn't decide. He went for a 1-1 draw and sat on the draw fence. John thinks Stoke are going to edge the game, thinks they're going to continue off from their impressive 4-1 win against Rotherham. He went Ipswich 1, Stoke 2. Mike went for a classy 1-0 win. You know, nothing fancy. We don't need loads of goals, says Mike. Just a 1-0 win's good enough to get Ipswich to 3 points. Nate has said that Ipswich and Stoke will Desmond it. He has gone 2-2. Shane Downs, he predicted Ipswich and Stoke to also do a Desmond. He's also gone 2-2. Shane O'Donnell says Ipswich, they're going to get off to a flyer this season. They're going to bring Stoke back down to earth. And he's gone Ipswich Town 2, Stoke City 1. Spencer, he thinks it's going to be an absolute cracker of a game. If you're an Ipswich or Stoke fan, you might have your heart racing if Spencer has anything to say about it, because he's gone Ipswich Town 2, Stoke City 3. Spencer, I might be a Leicester fan. I don't want to get that away, being on a Leicester channel. But, yeah, that would be a cracking game to watch if you're the neutral, if that's how it played out. Steve Smart, he went for a 1-1 draw. Not quite the Desmond, but he did sit on the fence nonetheless. Told You Bro did sit on the fence with a Desmond. A good old 2-2. I'm never going to get old saying that, and I do apologise in advance if it's boring you. But I'm the host of my show, so... Doug went for a confident win for Ipswich. He's gone 2-0 to Ipswich. So, for those that remember to enter, they have gone and get their result. Draw and Ipswich win. It's a little bit mixed on the win front. It's probably the most even one we've had so far with win, draws, and losses for Ipswich on that one. Stoke some, Ipswich some, draws some. It's probably the majority edging it out, but I'm not tallying it up because that's a lot more work than I need to be doing. Leon is coming to the way with his predictions. Do get involved. Do remember, even if you're not involved, you can just mess around for fun with your comments. You can go crazy if you're not in the prediction leagues because you're just doing it for the fun and the smugness if you get your prediction right. He went 2-0 Stoke, so evenly split one for this one. Which brings us on to the next game. Millwall, the shock result of the weekend, in my opinion, beating Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough are obviously most people's favourites to gain promotion. That does seem to be every season, and they always seem to either bottle it or just avoid the playoffs altogether. But Millwall are at home to Anthony's second, third, fifth, ninth favourite team. I mean, they're playing red, so there's that many red teams. Who knows which order he's got them in. But which way will that go? Bristol City got a well-earned draw against Preston in game week 1. And Anthony, well, true to his word, he backs his boys Bristol to win. He says that Bristol are going to get an away win, 2-1. Did Nigel Pearson being at the helm influence my decision making? Well, I can tell you that it did, because I went for a healthy 2-0 win to Bristol City. Chris, he decided that he couldn't decide. I think his soft spot for Bristol started to kick in because he's gone for a Desmond. He has gone 2-2. Craig, he went for an emphatic 3-1 victory to Millwall. So, Craig, you're probably not on Anthony's Christmas card list for that prediction. Jeff went for a 2-1 win to Millwall. He thinks they're going to back up their surprise win against Middlesbrough with another 3 points. John also thinks that Millwall are going to continue that rich vein of form. Form. It's a couple of games in. But he thinks they're going to win 1-0. Mike, he knows his lower league stuff, so he also went for he's gone for a 2-1 win to Bristol City. He thinks that they're going to pick up their first win of the season and giving that to Millwall's first defeat of the season. Nate, he went for a 2-1 win to Millwall. Shane Downs went for a 2-0 win to Millwall. His counterpart, Shane O'Donnell, he went 1-0 win for Millwall. Spencer went for a 2-1 win to Millwall. None of you are making this on Anthony's Christmas card list. See, think ahead. Think about Christmas. It's the season for giving. You want to make sure you're on his good list. Steve Smart, he went for 2-1 Millwall. I'm sorry, Anthony, if you're watching this at any point, but seems like a lot of people are backing Millwall for the win here. Oh, sorry about that, everybody. That was lovely for my nose to do that. Told you, bro, he went for a comfortable 2-0 win to Millwall. And Doug, you also went for a 1-0 win for Millwall. Oh, you can kind of tell I've been rehearsing this, can't you? So, everybody pretty much fancying a Millwall win, except for us brave few, or maybe biased few, if you will. So, make sure, while we're at the halfway point, what have I got in common with this? Well, it's a shameless plug, isn't it? Of course. And that is to make sure that you do go and check out our brand new sister channel, LTIV TV2, the quiz channel. If you love a good, healthy quiz and you love everything football, well, we combine the two together with several football quizzes. We hopefully just need to confirm it with it. We have Josh, aka not according to Chris, Mike Tyson Fury. He's ready to come on and see if he can fight his way to beat the £1 million drop. So he'll be coming on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So make sure you are going over to our secondary channel. Show it lots of love and support by subscribing to it if you haven't already. And if you enjoy quizzes, you're going to love all the content that's coming forward on that channel. And if you are listening to us on podcast platform or you wish to not see this disturbing face and just hear my wonderful voice instead of my face, then this is where you can find us on them platforms.
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
Something is coming. Something big to this podcast.
Hello, Chris.
The TalkSport Fan Network is the ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Including Leicester Till I Die, independent analysis and reaction for the Foxes faithful.
The TalkSport Fan Network.
Unbeatable club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Follow the podcast on the TalkSport Fan Network.
That's where you can find us, folks. You can follow all of them, and TalkSport is also where we are as well. So without further ado, after that shameless plug, sorry, it's not live, I'll edit it out, none of you will see that when it goes live. We can continue on. So next on the list, Preston, who held Bristol City to a draw in opening fixture. They take on Sunderland, who get themselves a mountain to climb and couldn't conquer it at the weekend. They went down to 10 men, and it switched the new boys back in the Championship after a long hiatus out. Managed to claim all 3 points. So where did our prediction competitors decide to go with this one? Well, Anthony thinks it'll be probably one of the best matches of the night. He's gone Preston 2, Sunderland 3. I said that it would be Preston 1, Sunderland 3. I think Preston just as much credit as Anthony did there. Chris, he decided it's going to be boring. Go and watch paint dry if you believe Chris, because he thinks it'll be 0-0. Craig, he thinks it'll be another 1-1 draw for Preston, so they're picking up points on Preston. Yeah, see, you think I don't rehearse things that I say when people give me their score predictions. I don't make it up as I go along. But you'll never know that. Jeff has decided he thinks Preston will succumb to a defeat and Sunderland will pick up their first win of the season. He has gone 1-0 to Sunderland. John thinks that Preston's score this week will be the same as last week and has gone for a 1-1 draw. Mike, who's been very wild-cardy with his predictions, but he thinks it will be edged out by 2-1 by Sunderland. So a lot of you already going for the away win in this one. And Nate has decided to, like Mike, again, you copying each other's homework because you won't win it. If you do, keep copying each other's homework. Come on, let's get them big results shouted out. He's gone Preston 1, Sunderland 2. Shane Downs has gone for Preston to get another 1-1 draw. Are we trying to say Preston are the 1-1 draw specialists already after 1 week? Because he's gone Preston 1, Sunderland 1. Shane O'Donnell has gone Preston 1, Sunderland 3. So a few shouts there for a big 3 for Sunderland. 3 points and 3 goals from a lot of us here. Spencer, again, it must be a Preston thing. He's joining a lot of people on the fence, and he's gone for a 1-1 draw as well. And Steve Smart has gone. Well, I think you are the first one to do this. Steve, you have gone for a 1-0 Preston win. And Told You Bro has gone for a 1-0 Sunderland win. And Doug rounds us off, as he always does. And the prediction that has been picked the most is Preston 1, Sunderland 3. So there you have it. Only one Preston believer in there. A lot of you think Preston are the 1 point specialist. But the rest of us all think Sunderland are going to win comfortably by at least a couple of goals. How are you lot seeing this? Get your comments down below. Remember, you do not have to be involved in the league to get your comments in. You guys are just doing it for fun. And I hope you are enjoying the show as you are tuning in when you get a chance to. Do remember that this is all for fun. And one thing you could do, which would be an absolute bonus to us all, once I can find the button, is you could become a member, which would support the channel for the low price of $1.99, because psychologically $1.99 is always cheaper than £2. For full details to join, click on the button below the video on the YouTube link. So head on over to YouTube if you're watching us elsewhere and check it out there. That'll tell you all the details you need to know. but I will help you and tell you and show you what benefits you can get by becoming a member. You will get loyalty badges and emojis. You will get membership shout outs. And if you want to stand out above the rest on this show and get shouted out, become a member for the low price of $1.99. Exclusive YouTube posts just for you. We don't have favourites here. We call you members because YouTube won't allow us to call you favourites. Exclusive quiz on YouTube, which Chris posts up there regularly. It's the Who Am I quiz that he's doing right now at the moment. There will be members only shows going on, guest slots on the show. So if you want to be on the show, doesn't matter who you support, but if you want to be on the show, if you're a member, you can say, hey Chris, I want to be on one of your shows, get me on this prediction thing, get me on the post matches, whatever one it is, I don't know, anything you want to be a part of, you're more than welcome to, but only if you're a member. And you also get a cheeky little discount by being a member. So yeah, if you think I could use a bit of discount, save yourself some money while I'm buying some lovely Christmas presents from the Leicester LTID merchandise page, and become a member, save yourself some discount. And that's exactly how you could do that. So there you go, that is how you can become a member and all the benefits of becoming a member. And I promise you, just like this, that is my last shameless plug. We are going to crack on with the last few predictions, because we might be Steve Lynex on this, but the merchandise is still for the winner, and that's where you can go and sponsor it. Go and check out the website, see what you're potentially winning, up your game in the prediction league, make focus on them results more, and see what wonderful gifts you could be taking home at the end of the season. I must add, it's not weekly, otherwise Steve would go bankrupt, and we want to help and support the loving Steve grow all his companies out there. Well, without further ado, I've kept you out here long enough. No, there you go. You can see that little asterisk on his name. That is supposed to be a fox, I believe. Steve Smart says, I'm happy to pay $1.99 because it's great content and it helps support you guys. Thank you very much, Steve. And to every member that is on board with us, we are forever grateful. Doug, you're a gentleman. We love you here on this channel. Always a regular on the panel, and always sharing streams at the same time as and when it makes sense. So yeah, it makes sense, Rodney, as someone once said. That is where you can find us on that. And where is the banner? I'm sure we had a banner for you lovely people, but I can't see it. Maybe I'm just being blind, but you have lovely members that are on here. Anyway, I'm sure you're not here for me to gush on about you lot that are members on there. You see, look, just $1.99, just quick, see the price. There it goes. Let's crack on with the show, shall we? Okay, where were we at? Rotherham, who took an absolute hammering away at Stoke in the first game week. Do any of you think they can bounce back? Because they are at home, but they are taking on Blackburn Rovers, who now a certain better Lancashire side, Burnley, and in the Premier League, they are now slightly better favourites to maybe make the playoffs this time, that they completely may have choked and fallen out of in the last few games. I'm sorry if any Blackburn fans are here taking offence, but that maybe have been what happened last season. But does anybody here in the Predictions League back Rotherham to cause a shock, or is it going to be a clean sweep for Blackburn? Well, Anthony, he predicts Blackburn to get a comfortable 2-0 away win. Unfortunately for Rotherham, I think it's more pain, because I've gone 3-0 for Blackburn Rovers. Chris, he has shown no mercy either, although small mercy maybe, because he's gave Rotherham a goal, but he thinks it'll be Rotherham 1, Blackburn 3. Craig has gone for a draw. He's sitting on the fence with a 1-1, so he thinks maybe Rotherham at home is where they're going to have to pick up their precious points this season if they are to survive. Jeff, he shows a little bit of mercy to them, but not enough to give the win to Rotherham. He's gone Rotherham 1, Blackburn 2. John has gone for... John, where are you? Where's Rotherham? Why have I not got your Rotherham score here? John has gone for a score that I'm sure I can double check and find out for you. But John, for some reason, in my infinite wisdom and brain, I have not wrote yours down, but I know I have got it. So I will find that out when I'm... Sorry, people, I do apologise. My nose is giving me all kinds of grief, and I'm sure you don't want to see anything coming from my nose at this point. So annoying. Every time I seem to go live, there's an issue. Mike, he went 2-1 to Rotherham, so he has gone for a shock. You like him, don't you? You QPR, and now you've gone for Rotherham to bounce back with a win against Blackburn. Maybe you're a big admirer of the underdog. Nate has gone for a comfortable Blackburn 2-0 win. Shane Downs has gone for again a 2-0 Blackburn win. Shane O'Donnell, he has predicted a bit of a cleaner result, but he's gone for 2-1 to Blackburn. Spencer has predicted that Rotherham will get a consolation, but all in vain, as they will lose 3-1. He's got Blackburn to win that game. And Steve Smart has gone for a comfortable 2-0 win to Blackburn. Told You Bro has sat on the fence. So there is a few people that hold out hope for Rotherham to get something. He has gone 1-1. And Doug, wow, Doug. He has shocked everybody here, including myself. He has joined the crazy gang with Mike. He has gone 2-0 to Rotherham. Wow, Doug. The fact that you guys have both gone for, you and Mike have, oh my God, nose crisis. Of course, it starts flaring up once I'm live and I haven't got a tissue to hand. I do apologise, but Doug has gone 2-0 to Rotherham. One of a few shocks. Most of the majority of them have gone for a win to Blackburn. And just to confirm, John, where are you, John? You're on my list somewhere. I know you're on my list somewhere. John, where are you? I know you're not watching, John, or you might be in the chat sitting back. John, you are... That's Mike. There we are, John. John went 2-1 Blackburn, which I will write down now. I will just add that on. But we'll crack on with these, shall we, first of all? Because there's still a few to get through, and I've had a lot of work to do. Told You Bro is joined us. Hi, mate. He goes, shit, been looking forward to this all week and only just woke up because after a big night shift. Oh, well, don't worry, mate. You can catch up, see how you've been doing. You can see the league table. And for those of you that have joined late and are around, I will put the league table back up again. So don't worry, Told You. If you stay around, you'll see exactly how, well, bad, good, ugly, indifferent. The ugly parts for me, don't worry. I wasn't calling you ugly yourself. But you'll get to see that again at the end. And he says here, going to watch catch up on YouTube later. Well, there you go, mate. You'll know how well you are doing if you catch up with the show then. I hope the night shifts aren't killing you off, mate. I hope you're doing well. LCFC, good to have you in, mate. He says, good evening, all. Yeah, good evening to you, sir. I hope you are well, too. So, where are we at? If my glasses were a nice fit, I'd be able to just take them off and look at my list like that. Southampton, who were fortunate, very fortunate to get off to to get off to a winning start against against Sheffield Wednesday in the first game. A late winner there, and also a late win for Norwich City against Hull by the same result. They won 2-1. So with both teams off to a flying start in the first week, how does everybody see this one going? Well, Anthony thinks that Southampton, a team that plays in half red and half white, shock horror. Anthony thinks that Southampton will win 2-1. I myself have gone through an absolute thriller. I think Southampton will win 3-2. Chris, who loves a Desmond, has gone 2-2. Craig has seen Saints squeak on by. Not exactly marching, but they are squeaking on by. He thinks Saints will win 1-0. Jeff has gone for a 2-0 Southampton win. John, I did note this one down, John. If you're watching, you did say that Southampton would win 2-0. Mike has gone for a 1-0 squeaky win for Southampton. No one really back in Norwich here, by the looks of things. Nate, Of course, Nate. As soon as I say that, I get to your predictions, and you're the one that's gone 2-1 Norwich. Shane Downs has gone for a ball draw. He has gone 0-0. Your counterpart, Shane O'Donnell, has gone for a huge Southampton marching victory by 3-1. Spencer has gone for a clear win of 2-0 Southampton. Steve Smart has gone also 2-0 Southampton. Told You Bro has gone for a very convincing 3-0 win to Southampton. Only Nate going for Norwich. Doug, last but by no means least, has gone 2-0 Southampton. So, one man on his own has gone for Norwich to win in Nate, but the rest of you all think that Southampton will continue that start from the first game against Sheffield Wednesday and pick up 3 more points against Norwich. LCFC, Brad, how does it feel being in Chris's seat? At the risk of saying something to get fired, I'm going to say very comfortable, mate. I'm just going to say comfortable. I'm not going to say anything about the older gentleman. Oh, there you go, I've just said it now. So if you don't see me next week, you know I've been replaced with a seat. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, mate. I hope you guys are too. And I hope you enjoy the fact that you're stuck with just me. I'm afraid Steve's on holiday. Oh, talk about the unprofessional a lot, eh? Oh, well, what can you do? It's not like I ever have a break and don't turn up for a show. Moving on to the 2 penultimate games before we get to revealing how the majority of you in this league are Leicester fans. So before we get round to embarrassing you or potentially singing your praises for your Leicester predictions, we've got 2 more games to get through. High-flying Watford against high-flying Plymouth. Maybe a shock on the cards there. Huddersfield beat Leicester's opponents at the weekend, Huddersfield, by a whopping 3-1. And Watford secured the biggest win of the weekend, beating Queen's Park Rangers by 4-0. But how does everybody else see this going? Well, Anthony thinks Watford will continue free scoring. He's gone for Watford to win by 3-1. I have thought it'd be a bit closer, and I've gone for Watford to win 2-1. Chris has gone with me, and he's copied my homework. He's gone Watford to win 2-1. Craig has, I think, potentially his first Desmond of the day. He's gone 2-2. Jeff has gone for a Watford win. He's gone 2-1, as has John. He has also gone 2-1 Watford. Mike, wow, the underdog fan of the year so far, 2 games in. He has gone Watford 1, Plymouth 2. Oh, Mike, if you're watching this back or you are sat there watching, do you think that Plymouth will survive? Is that why you're honing in on a Plymouth result? Nate, you have joined a lot of others with a 2-1 Watford win after your standalone performance with Norwich. Shane has gone for a 2-0 win to Watford. Shane Downs, that was Shane O'Donnell, has gone for a 1-1 draw. He can't pick between them. Spencer has gone for a huge 3-0 win to Watford. You're giving Plymouth no hope there, aren't you, Spencer? Steve Smart has gone for a whopping 3-1 win to Watford, sorry. And Told You Bro thinks it's going to be a ball draw. He's gone 0-0. And Doug has also joined on the fence, but he actually thinks there'll be goals. Doug has gone for a 1-1 draw. I just want to quickly say hi to Stuart Russell. Hope you're well, mate. What's that badge in the background? I don't know if that's a design badge or a badge, but I'm usually good with my football badges, and I don't recognise it. So, lovely logo you've got in the background, mate. If it is a football badge indeed, it does look very nice. I hope you're well. If you are a part on YouTube, just give me a second so I can sort my nose out, because it's just irritating me, and it's probably irritating you seeing me try and sort my nose out every 5 minutes. There we go. I'm back, people. If you are still only watching on Facebook, be an absolute legend. Jump onto the YouTube and just give us a subscribe button and hit the like one. It just gets this channel seen more around the YouTube algorithm and all that jazz. LCFC says, I know it's only been one game, but Watford are looking strong. They are, mate. And again, that's that's credit to them. They're always up and around there. I know it's early doors, but it is great. It's good to see. You want to get off to a good start. I mean, we won our game, didn't we, mate? So we're off to a start. At the end of the day, you only get the same points for the results. But it's always nice to get the ball rolling and get that confidence flying high. Tollsborough says, I think Plymouth will stay up. There's always normally one that causes a shock. I think that is a very good shout. Did I put this up already? If not, I'm saying it again. LCFC, you've gone 2-0 Watford. Absolute legend, mate. That's what you do. Follow Stuart's example. He says, will do, mate. And yeah, there is a link to our sister quiz channel, Stuart. So if you like quiz channels, you can also do the same there, mate. That'd be extra awesome. But thank you, Stuart, if you've gone over and done that. Fantastic. So any of you watching on Facebook, all do the same. That would be absolutely brilliant. You may have realised we're not on Twitter. The last 3 or 4 streams, we've had issues with it going live on Twitter, trying to see what the problem is, a way around it. Chris is doing that in the background. So if you know anybody who usually watches our shows on Twitter, send them this way. Tell them to get on the YouTube channel or via Facebook if they're on that, and say, look, if you've been wondering where LTID TV's been from Twitter, that's where it is. That would be superb. Now, the penultimate game, the one that nobody is waiting for if they're a Leicester fan, but we are going to talk about it. West Brom versus Swansea. Swansea, who drew with Birmingham, and Blackburn edged out West Brom in a Midlands. No, it's not Midlands. It's Blackburn, not Birmingham. In a fight that many will consider a potential playoff battle. You know, they've always been up and around that area. Both have history, not just with the Premier League, but with playoffs. So we won't talk about a certain playoff that they had against a certain team in blue, because that's painful memories, along with a few playoffs from that era. Although there are still some memorable ones, Derby and Crystal Palace, in and around that. But yeah, we won't talk about that certain one that Blackburn may have gone on to beat as well. But we are going to talk West Brom versus Swansea. Now, Anthony, if you're looking for goals in a game which won't split anybody for a win, then Anthony's your man. Because if Anthony was in charge of results, he has gone for West Brom 3, Blackburn 3. I have sensed that West Brom will beat Swansea by 2-1. My goddamn nose, why now? I hasn't done it all day. It's my hay fever and a stuffy nose. I do apologise, everybody. Itchy beard as well. And Chris thinks it'll be a bore draw. Chris, you've been a bit boring throughout your predictions, mate. Yeah, see what I did there. 0-0. He's gone 0-0. Craig has gone for a draw, but he actually thinks there'll be goals. He's gone 1-1. Jeff has gone for a comfortable 2-0 win to the Baggies. John has also gone for a comfortable 2-0 win to the Baggies. Mike, surprising in where he's gone, but maybe not with Mike with his results this week. He thinks Swansea will cause a little bit of a stir. He's gone 2-1 to Swansea. Nate thinks it will be 2-1, but this time to West Brom. Shane Downs has gone for a convincing 3-1 win to West Brom. And Shane O'Donnell thinks it'll be a bit closer, but he's gave West Brom the edge by 1-0. Spencer has gone for goals, but he can't split them. He's gone for 1-1. Steve Smart has gone for a convincing 3-1 win to the Baggies. Told you, bro, has joined Mike with a surprise for Swansea. He has gone 2-1 Swansea. And Doug can't split them. He has gone 1-0. Now then, 99% of the way through, but as you do with most things, we save the best till last. It is the chance for the Foxes to maul the Terriers, but does everybody think that is going to happen? Do you guys think it's going to happen? It is, of course, the biggest game of the weekend. Doesn't matter who's playing. We all know the most massive team in the Championship is taking on Huddersfield. And Tom won't like me for saying that, who was on our preview show yesterday. Do go and check that out as well. You know, after we finish going through these, make sure you go and check that out. See what Tom has to say about how he feels about his Huddersfield side and Neil Warnock. It's a great show. Go and check it out after this. But I've kept you all in suspenders long enough. I finally got to the final act of the evening. It is, of course, Huddersfield versus the mighty Leicester City. But not all of these people are Leicester fans. Doug and Anthony in particular aren't. So how did they see it playing out? Well, Anthony thinks the Foxes are going to get two things, a win and a clean sheet. He's gone 2-0 to Leicester. I have, of course, this is where I get ridiculous. I've gone for a whopping 4-0 win to Leicester. Chris has gone and copied my homework, even though he gave his predictions after I'd written mine. But still, he copied my homework. He's gone 4-0 Leicester as well. Craig, he's backed the Foxes to win 2-1. Jeff has seen Leicester win this 2-0. He thinks of winning a clean sheet. I'd love to see your prediction as well, Jeff, even if it's not going to get me any 3 points. John has gone 3-1 to Leicester over Huddersfield. Mike, who's also not a Leicester fan, but he has backed Leicester to win 3-1. Maybe not surprising me, since we are a Leicester channel, that not a lot of people are backing Huddersfield in this one, though, is it, folks? Nate has gone for an absolute thriller. God, you're going to give me a heart attack, Nate, with this one, because he's gone Huddersfield 2, Leicester City 3. Shane Downs has gone for where is it? He's gone Huddersfield 1, Leicester 2. So I think it'll be a close call, but he does see Leicester getting over the line. Shane O'Donnell has gone for a comprehensive 3-0 win to Leicester. Spencer has also backed the Foxes to win 3-0. Steve Smart has also backed Leicester to get a clean sheet and has gone for a pair of deuces. He's gone 2-0. And Told You Bro has gone for a 3-1 win. And Doug has gone for a comfortable 3-0 win. And I just have to give a special mention to somebody who I failed to include in the Predictions League and has now decided just to give me her Leicester ones. Jess, if you are catching up and watching this at any point, she went 3-1 Leicester. For those of you who don't know, she rightfully predicted Leicester to win 2-1. So had I not been so forgetful, she may be causing you guys trouble in the Predictions League. But there we have it, guys. We have gone through the results. We have caught up on the weekly roundup. We have seen where everybody is in the standings. And just in case you're wondering, league standings, what do you mean? Well, what I mean is, here's how everybody fared on the point system in terms of correct results, CR, and how many scores they got correctly there. And if you're thinking, Brad, that's all jumbled up. Put it in order, man. Nah, never fear. For I have, as you can see there, getting the correct result will prove very vital as this season, because as you can see, both Doug and Mike top scored with 13 points. And for that reason, the only thing separating Mike and Doug currently right now is alphabetical order. And as you can see, that has played its part further down the list. But enough chitter chatter. You've put up with my mug for just over an hour, and I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's joined us live and got involved in the comments. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Next week, fingers crossed his car doesn't break down, he doesn't have to work late, he hasn't got another holiday planned. We will actually be joined by, technically you could say, the sponsor of this show, which is Steve Lynex and his Foxy 7 clothing, which of course, in case you didn't know already, goes to the inaugural winner of this prediction group. So until next time, please do remember, subscribe to the channel, like the video, go over to our sister channel and do the exact same there. That, you know, you could like videos on there that have been on if you want, watch the quizzes, and if you're feeling generous, do become a member. And until next time, if I don't see you first, I'll probably see you on social media. But until then, good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You'd better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network.
TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.